Samantha and Robert Feldman invite you to join in the celebration of their daughter becoming a woman or becoming a bat mitzvah. Becoming a bat mitzvah.
Becoming a bat mitzvah. Yes. It's brilliant.
Is that good?
Yes, I'm writing it down.
Okay. Okay, so this idea came about when we were at your house in Atlanta, a place that I did not mean to go on a vacation to this winter, but ended up coming up for a one-day trip.
Right. During COVID.
We'll talk about that later. That detail is not important. But we were together in person. Drinking wine.
Like we are now. Cheers.
Okay. Cheers. L'chaim.
L'chaim.
No one said the motzi, but hopefully, nothing bad will happen to us. I mean, I already got laid off, so
that's it for today.
That's it for today. So we were sitting on the couch. Do you remember how it came up?
I'm always like a nostalgic person. I always have to like talk about like, do you remember when? I'm like that person. And we probably were talking about it because like Brandon's never been to one.
Right, Brandon, your husband.
And, we were probably trying to, tell him like what it was about. And I mean, it's such an experience. So we were probably trying to just like fill him in on the Jewish experience of our childhood.
I think what we both realized is that like the early 2000s or the late 90s, the period of time where we had our bat mitzvahs was such a specific experience. Mm-hmm. And it was like specific, but also kind of universal for all the bar and bat mitzvahs that we both went to as young people in the early aughts. Once you started thinking about it, all these memories sort of started flooding back to me about that time in my life and about the experience and how like we kind of wanted to examine how like some of the things that you do happen at every single bat mitzvah, how those things started, why it's like that, why the traditions are as they are, how it became that way, and the differences kind of between our parents and their experiences, our experiences, and bat mitzvahs that happen today.
I love that. Can we do it? The year was 2000.
It's like Golden Girls. Picture it.
No, I just wanted to start by, I guess, saying I was not jazzed to be having a bat mitzvah when it came. I was like, oh shit, now I have to like get up, at temple on the bima, read the Torah in front of like friends and family, my crushes, like,
oh yeah,
I don't want to like sing in front of like the guys that I like at school.
Were you given an option? Because my mom offered to take me on a trip and I was like, I have to have a bat mitzvah.
I like that. It was like the opposite situation. I wasn't given a choice. It was like, well, you're doing this. You're in Hebrew school. You've been in Hebrew school for years. This is what happens. Like, get over your stage fright, blah, 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 blah. And, in the Jewish culture, religion, it's like all a part of like becoming an adult, right? Like it's this whole adult
crazy.
Yeah.
You're like 13 years old.
You're 13. Like you're not like, going off to raise a family or getting a job or anything. You're 13.
It's like, I'm 13. Time to start paying my dues around here.
It's the most unattractive time for anyone to be this center of attention.
Yeah.
Like boys going through puberty, girls going through puberty, everyone's just going through puberty and sweating.
Oh my God, so much sweating. So much, constantly just sweating all the time.
So, and for this episode, I would like to say, I brought a shawl because you cannot go to temple. Like this, like I would maybe wear this with like a skirt, but like in temple, it's a shawl. You got to wear the shawl.
100%. That I feel like I'm like a little underdressed for sure, but I was obsessed with Jessica McClintock.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember that store? And I always wanted a Jessica McClintock dress, but they never fit me. they were always, because they always ran really small, and they were like, you know, zip in the back, like traditional super ball gowny bat mitzvah dresses. Also, they were super expensive, like if I remember correctly, like super expensive. And but I never, I'll like, there was a Jessica McClintock store in the Roosevelt Field Mall in Long Island, and I remember vividly being in like the curtained off dressing rooms and like trying to squeeze a pre-puberty body into like a strapless Jessica McClintock gown that I would have had to wear a shawl with for devil.
I mean, you had to, but for some, and I'll show you, let me share my screen. Yeah, so here is my Bat Mitzvah album, January 15, 2000.
Oh my God. What a
I
beautiful
know.
book.
Y2K, everyone thought the world was ending.
And it didn't, and thank God.
It didn't.
Thank Hashem.
By the way, we should tell everyone that you speak Hebrew and I do not.
Yeah, a little, as exhibited by my thank Hashem.
So,
but we should also tell everybody that you went to Hebrew school and I had a tutor because I was a Hebrew school dropout, which is kind of funny. But that shit is expensive, and we didn't have a lot of money, and it was easier to have a tutor. So.
Well, I like that. It's a different experience. It's like you're home Hebrew schooled.
Exactly. I was home Hebrew schooled. My mom, I was always home Hebrew schooled because my mom speaks Hebrew.
Yeah, so it's awesome. Let's get to me first. Okay.
Obviously.
How am I up there with no shawl?
I don't know. You pulled a fast one on God.
So anyway, this was my look. With, you know, of course I didn't have the corn with my sister.
Oh my God.
I had the butterfly clips. It was 2000. So of course I had white eyeliner with black eyeliner.
You are too cute.
You know, so
I would like to wear that dress now that you're wearing. You're
you know, it's cute. It actually wasn't bad because like there were some bad ones.
I mean,
but you know, there was the curly updo. I'm with no shawl. I'm practically naked. It's like the precursor to what I'm wearing now.
yeah, you're wearing the grown-up version of that now.
I had like an early puberty. Like I went through puberty at like 10. I got my period, so like I was already like developed. So I'm like, you had probably the same bust as I was.
yeah. I definitely remember that I was so disappointed that I couldn't get a dress from Jessica McClintock, which, you know, is now thinking about that, like obviously was damaging to my body image and like my experience as a young weight obsessed 13-year-old girl, which when I look at the pictures, you know, I'm like a little girl. And so the fact that like those dresses didn't fit me then is really shocking. And I'm glad, like, I'm curious what the shopping experience now is, now that, you know, we're not in a better, like a totally wonderful place as far as like clothing goes for all body types, but I think we're in a much better place now than we were when we were becoming Bat Mitzvahs, the name of the show. But I actually ended up getting my dress at a boutique in the neighborhood in Queens that we grew up in called Oz. That was like,
oh God, I got my prom dress there.
Oh, you did? That's where it was wild. I think it's still there. Is it still? I think it's still there, and it's still wild.
I hope so.
I want to go shopping there now because I remember it being like, I feel like I would just have a lot of fun in there now because the dresses were so insane. And they were all like, you know, it was like a cutout red sparkle, like cutout boob area with like snakes coming out of the sides. And then like, you know, heels with like all these spikes on them. When I picture this story, I think of like spiky shoes. Yeah. And I found my dress there. It was silver, like spaghetti strap silver with like flowers on the top and the bodice. And then the skirt was like a light pink with a silver organza overlay. And I was so excited about it because my theme was Winter Wonderland. And I felt like like the 2002 version of Elsa. I was like a total ice queen.
Do you have a picture?
I do.
And we'll talk a little bit more about my theme, but mine was Broadway, and the invite had like the tragedy like comedy faces. If I did it now, it would be Disney.
Oh wow, that's actually such a good question. What mine would be now.
Yeah, what would it be?
I love Disney. I love that. Mine would probably be like vintage furniture. Just trying to think of the first thing that I like that comes to mind. Or like fashion, I guess.
Go
for
it.
Here's picture numero uno.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
Can you see it?
Oh my God, you're the cutest little thing I've ever seen.
Here's a detail shot.
Oh my God.
As you can see, I have a French tip going on.
Oh, nice, yeah.
But I had my long brown hair that had to be straight, flat ironed, and my dress that was totally like I'm in a winter wonderland. This is what makes me mad. Like I'm a small child and I couldn't fit into those dresses, and that is really shitty.
Yeah.
But I was clearly not so bothered. Look how happy I am.
Yeah, you look really happy and you look beautiful. So you found a dress that worked.
Thank you. And here is my mom giving her speech in her dress that I actually would love. That I would wear this one now, but it's like a crushed velvet situation.
Yeah.
And that was look. That was I was obsessed with this dress. I loved it so much.
Oh, do you still have it?
I don't think so.
What became of the dress?
Whatever became of the dress. I don't know. I'll have to ask my mom.
Going back to the idea of becoming a man-woman thing, and how awkward that whole thing is. I feel like that's such an awkward thing to throw in a 13-year-old.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you like feel like crap. Everyone is terrible, and also you're a woman now.
Yeah, like that was a very I was in middle school, right? So it's like 7th grade, and I remember since I was like the one with the boobs, like some of the guys were like really mean to me. Like some people would call me like a slut, blah blah blah, and it was just because like I had boobs. It was just, so it's just, that was the time that you picked for this like experience. Like so I hate when like it's like you're becoming an adult and I'm like you're 13.
They should have done it when you were like I should have had it at 30.
Yeah, 30. Like that's a great age, and then you can have a registry. You can have like a bat mitzvah registry.
100%. That is, in my opinion, when you become an adult.
And that's when you need the money. You don't need it when you're 13.
You don't need money when you're 13 to buy a Kate Spade messenger bag. That's for sure. I didn't need that. I didn't need the money to buy 3 Tiffany heart chain bracelets.
I got to make a down payment on the house, people.
I was like, do you remember what your like favorite gift was? Do you remember having a favorite gift? Because I remember I was like, this is so terrible.
No, I just remember being blown away by literally how much money
I
received, and just being like really, grateful, but also being like, holy cannoli.
Because you're not an adult, so you're like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, I think I told you this, I'm pretty sure mine paid my mom's rent. So
oh my God.
I hope no one who went to my bat mitzvah and gave me money for me and my adulthood. I mean, if it was gonna go, if I did it now, it would have gone to my rent. So I guess it was paying for my life.
Yeah. I actually think some of my money went to Camp Lakota. So thank you, Camp Lakota, another sponsor.
Having a bat mitzvah is sponsored by, it actually should be sponsored by Camp Lakota, because a lot of that's the sleepaway camp that both of us went to, which could be a whole other conversation and podcast. But the reason we had so many bat mitzvahs is because we had camp friends.
Right.
That's, for me, like, on top of the fact that we were both like New York Jews that just had a lot of bat mitzvahs.
Right. And you have just like
camp bat mitzvahs.
So, okay, so I just want to show like the idea of, becoming, oh wait, let me share screen. Hold on one second.
I also do want to know if you like, I remember I had a bunch of blue Tiffany bags. It was like there was no greater difference.
Oh yes, we got I think that's probably when I got my first Tiffany like bean.
Oh my God.
Bean.
I think there were bean people and Elsa Party heart people. And I don't think that there was much of a crossover. I had like one bean, I think.
I had the bean. So yeah, definitely that was like my first interaction with like getting something from Tiffany's. And I was like,
yeah.
And I think like camp friends all chipped in and got something for you,
Yeah. Yep.
So this is my dad becoming a man at his bar mitzvah. So
at 12, he must have been 12, right?
He smokes cigars. I just love this picture. Yeah, he's like 12, smoking cigars with his buddies. I just love this picture because honestly, his suit is like, I love it. I like love the outfit.
Yeah, the fashion in this era is unparalleled. Like the bat mitzvahs.
Yeah, like it's just like what? Like question mark. The bow tie on his friend is great.
That bow tie is I would like to have that bow tie now. I love it.
So good. And there's dad at mine because
gotta get a look. Liza's hair and your sister Liza's hair at your bat mitzvah is maybe my favorite thing I've ever seen.
She's like, she calls it a waterfall. It's really cute.
What is that, a clip?
It's like, it was, what? It reminded me of the slap-on bracelets, and I feel like they put it around the ponytail.
So cute.
And then, of course, becoming a man means you look at Playboy with your friends. Okay.
It's so funny. That is so funny.
But this is my other favorite photo because it's just, all right, he's a man now. He's got all the babes.
Oh my God, what a baby magnet.
It's so 70s. And I mean, my dad is not like this at all. So it's like a very staged photo.
Yeah, I feel like you have to also know first of all, he was a child.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. The second thing is like to know your dad and to know the kind of like not like this man he is. Like he's like a nice Broadway loving.
Yeah, Broadway loving. He's not like this like ladies this like suave like. So it's just weird. And also as a person who really likes tiki things, I like that there's like this weird like bamboo in the back.
I love it. Where are they? They
look I have no idea.
Like they look like they could be at a tiki bar, which they wouldn't be allowed to do because they're not adults.
Yeah.
But they are adults.
So anyway, that's the 70s.
I love that. My theme was Jamie's Winter Wonderland. It was
and everything had your name in front of it. Like it was very important. You had your name with apostrophe and then your theme. Okay.
Yep. I want to give a quick because we talked about it. I want to give a quick shout out to my friend Jen, who loves apples to this day, is a lover of the fruit, the apple, and whose bat mitzvah theme was Jen's Apple Bash, and it was all apple.
Creative one I've heard.
The best one. It really stayed with me. The best one, and it was all apples dressed up as like her favorite things to do. So she had a camp. She's from camp, so she had a camp apple, and that was the table I sat at. My theme was Jamie's Winter Wonderland. It was February 10th, 2002. It was a cold winter's day, and it did flurry, which I was like a fucking pig in shit. I was like, oh my, this is like everything that I could have ever wished for is happening. I am having a bat mitzvah. I'm having it at this country club that I really wanted to have my bat mitzvah. That was really important to me. God knows why. I could have been on a 2-week-long trip through Europe with my mother, but I had to have my bat mitzvah in Long Island at a country club.
Choices.
Instead, once again, like when you are becoming a woman and your priorities are having a bat mitzvah and not going on a trip. Anyway, this is my official campaign to change bat mitzvah age to 30.
I'm with you on that. I am, you know what? I think that's the first lesson I've learned doing this first episode is that you don't need it at 13.
You sure don't. You know who needs it? Your parents.
No, you really need it like a good boost when you're 30. So.
I will say, shout out to my mom because she did throw me a surprise 30th birthday party that was wonderful, but it was not a bat mitzvah. I would have killed a haftorah at 30. I'm just saying. Not be like the splotchy mess that I mean, maybe I would be because I'm splotchy now, like I was during my haftorah. So my theme was Jamie's Winter Wonderland. Everything was silver and white. The tables were covered in this like confetti that was like snowflakes. And I remember like seeing one table, like, you would look in the room before the event started. And I remember seeing like one table that like didn't have enough confetti on it to my liking. And I was really upset about it.
You were a Bat Mitzvahzilla.
I was totally a Botzilla. I was a Botzilla. I was like on the phone with the balloon people. I was like having a hand in my invitations. I was wild. I was out of control. Like the fact that I was even allowed to have one after the way that I acted is a mitzvah. My mother really did a mitzvah by allowing me to have a bat mitzvah. And I don't think I had specific tables because it was just like the whole theme. It was just supposed to be like a wintry vibe.
So a little bit different.
It was white and silver with like snowflake balloons.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have centerpieces. Did you?
So I had it at the Omni Hotel in Long Island, and it's like it looks like a diner, which was really, cool. And my mom liked that retro vibe, which is probably.
Oh my God, that was one of the coolest places ever.
Yeah, it would. Honestly, I have to say, I would go back and do a photo shoot now. Like, I'm like, can I go? Like, can we get some photos?
It's like there were people. There was like statues of people when you walked in.
Yes, I have a picture of Liza like talking to the statues.
Yeah.
But it was like this office building that had the diner set up on the bottom, and I have pictures to show everyone. But the centerpieces I have were just for the adult tables, and the kids section was like a free for all. Like, sit wherever you want. Like.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So,
was that how it went, or was that just specific for yours?
I think everyone, like usually at the ones I attended, there was like a table for everyone, and like each table had a different like name,
right,
corresponding to the theme. So
that is expensive. Those centerpieces were expensive.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's like balloons, and then it's like, these cardboard like whatever cutouts that were like, and I have some photos to show too. So like, but like it's all very expensive, like.
Yeah.
But
I didn't have centerpieces because of that. I just had the balloons. You know what I'm also having a memory of now, like people taking home the centerpieces.
So I guess
at the end of the night with like a centerpiece in tow.
So I guess it comes from like bat mitzvahs, but like when we were having our wedding, my mom was like, make sure you like put like, or my grandma, some Nona or my mom, someone was like, put something on the bottom that says like, please take. And I was like, no. She's like, so they know they could take it. I'm like, they could take it. I don't care, but I'm not like.
Yeah. But it's so funny because flowers at a wedding, I understand, right? They're flowers, they're beautiful, but like, why is someone trying to take home my snowflake balloons? Like, what are you doing with those?
That I would take home your snowflake balloon. That would be like me. Like now that would be me. I'd be taking home like everybody's centerpiece. Like no,
like come home with like random shit. I'm also, for some reason, even though we grew up in an apartment building and we didn't have basements, I'm picturing like a centerpiece in a suburban basement for like many years, just like sitting on a carpeted corner with like the sign-in board with like a big picture of the bar mitzvah person, just like for eternity. Just like it's like an artifact.
The best thing that I heard last week when we were asking our friend Alana what her theme was she said, and you know, I have such a bad memory, I can't remember everybody's themes, but she said hers was pastimes. And we said, okay, so like, you know, what were the pastimes? And she was like, fortune telling. And I think that was as far as we got, was like one table was fortune telling. So I have to say that was a very creative theme.
Was that like, were they pastimes of her? Like, why were they just pastimes and not like specific, like Alana's pastimes?
Alana, if
I know that bitch was not fortune telling. Also, fortune telling is a profession, not a pastime.
You know what? I would love that theme now, like as like 30, like you know, tarot cards and like,
oh yeah, oh my god,
like crystals in another section, like a very like Zen Bat Mitzvah.
I feel like that's just like my life. This is my welcome to my apartment.
And I only play chakra music. Like that's the theme.
Yeah, I guess my theme would not really be vintage furniture. I mean, as much as I do love vintage furniture, it might be though, like it might be like 70s.
Yeah, I mean, people...
we could dress like your dad at his bar mitzvah. Oh Rachel's centerpieces are intense.
Yeah. So okay, let's start with Rachel. So Rachel is like our BFF that will be shown a lot here. Yeah. Your mom, Carol. Shout out to Carol for sending all.
Carol.
Her theme was Millennium.
So genius.
And because her bat mitzvah was actually December 1999. And it was funny because I went to another camp person's bar mitzvah like right before Rachel's, and it was the same theme, and he had like alien stuff. So like, you know, Y2K millennium, aliens, obviously. So Rachel's...
I don't think many people can say they went to two Y2K themed parties.
Yeah, it was very topical. It was very like of the moment. Topical. Yeah. Like it was definitely like, oh wow, you're cool, you're like trendy. It was like a trendy
moment. So trendy. Good job. Kudos to Rachel for being so trendy.
Mine, not so much. So here I am outside the Omni Diner in my like huge ass platform shoes.
Oh my god. Can we get a zoom on those shoes? Oh my god, are they closed toe?
Yeah.
So they're a white closed toe platform shoe.
Yeah. I don't think they were. I kind of wonder if they were like dyed to match, you know, like that cream. Remember when
I remember doing that.
So, but my colors were like black, red, and this like white. And then
I love your outfit. I love it.
I actually thought it was pretty good. I have to say, my mom did good. It was hard because I was so busty, so I didn't look 13.
Right, so you looked like a woman. You looked like you were becoming a bat mitzvah.
I looked 30.
You looked like the right bat mitzvah, the age to be a bat mitzvah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, is Liza wearing a blazer?
She has a little cardigan on.
Oh my god, this is like...
But yeah, you see, we had the faces, and these were like the adult tables: Lion King, Miss Saigon. God, I don't know.
Did you have a favorite Broadway show?
Rent, probably Rent was really big.
I was listening to Rent in the car or something recently, and listening to the Mark's mom doing the voicemail. Like, that was a very loud beep. I don't even know if this is right. Okay. And all these people that are like, we're squatting in the East Village and our lives are so hard. Like, they're all from Westchester. Their parents are like constantly calling to check in on them.
I don't even know if this is working. I'm calling you from Westchester.
Yeah. It's like,
oh, you can go home anytime on the Metro North.
You just got sent a hot plate and your parents are checking in on you, but you're like, so like, how are you going to pay last year's rent?
You'll figure it out. Or they should have a bat mitzvah. Bat mitzvah. It's my answer to everything.
There you go. Good callback. Good callback.
Have the bat mitzvah.
Mark and Roger needed to have a b'nai mitzvah.
So I think that was it for the decor. I wanted to bring this photo in because I told you about this, and I want to share a little bit about this. This is me.
You need to do this because I didn't have this experience. So
okay, so this is like I feel like a very classic thing that happened at bar bat mitzvahs, where if you had a service at the temple and then a party somewhere else, like a country club or a hotel or some random office building that has a diner in it, you have to like transport your guests.
Wait. The Omni is an office building?
I have no idea. I always think of it, we should look it up, but in my mind, it's like an office building where people work.
Yeah, you know what? I 100%, I think you're 100% right.
So, we transport, usually the family, anyone who's an adult has a car, they can drive, whatever. Right. But you have to transport your friends from one place to the other. So you have a bus, you have like a yellow school bus. This isn't like a fancy wedding shuttle.
Not a coach bus. Definitely not a coach.
It's a yellow school bus, folks. And there I am getting off.
What had you done on that bus, Nicole?
Yeah, that's probably not what's typical, but on that bus, we all decided we were gonna play like truth or dare, and everyone dared everybody to kiss everyone. I must have kissed like 10 boys on this bus. Sorry, Mom, that's where your money went. Me kissing 10 boys. I don't know if I'm happy or shocked or just get me off this bus.
You really became a woman on the bus.
I really became a woman, for better or worse.
You know what? I feel like I was robbed of that experience. A, because I was not kissing boys. Any boys. No boys were kissing me at that time.
I did not.
And B, my service and my party were in the same place. So I didn't have the no adults. I feel like that's what it was about the bus, right? Like,
right.
It was a very you were hyper aware of the fact that the parents were not there for this portion of the experience.
Right. And it's that age where everybody was like hooking up with all of a sudden, like you're like, ooh,
so horny.
Boys.
Yeah. Just like horned the F up on
yeah.
the way to bat mitzvah. Everyone looks good. It's like if you asked our parents like your big takeaway from your bat mitzvah and what they what they wanted and giving us these experiences are so disconnected.
Yeah.
But yeah, I totally think it's like the bus energy is something that I think I miss in adulthood.
We'll get you on a bus. Once COVID's over, we'll get you on a bus.
I'm trying to get on a bus immediately. I mean, it's been a long year in COVID. But I'm trying to get on the bus. I'm trying to get to the back of the bus like ASAP. I'm trying to put my tongue in a lot of mouths.
Oh my goodness.
On the back of the bus. Not bar mitzvah boy mouths. That's gross. But 30 plus year old bar mitzvah and bat mitzvah.
Yeah.
Mouths.
And you could have one at an older age. Like my mom never had one. I'm like, girl, get it.
Oh my God, that would be so. You know, that would be so fun.
Yeah, she should do it.
If we threw her a bat mitzvah.
Yeah, throw Mindy a bat mitzvah.
Call it a bat mitzvah for Mindy.
And what would she? And I feel like what would her theme be? My mom loves rainbows and stars and unicorns,
and turtles.
And turtles. It could be Mindy's mythological.
Oh my God! It would be. I don't know why I'm seeing Smurfs.
Mystical.
Mindy's mystical mirage. Mindy's mystical mirage.
It's
I danced my ass off at Mindy's mystical mirage.
Oh my. Did your mom have one?
she had like a lunch, I'm pretty sure. They had like, first of all, I don't think they lived here. They moved here from Israel when she was 6. But first of all, I don't think that it's not the same thing. Like Israeli, like her experience was not the same as and I think, you know, outside of the tri-state area, the experience is very different no matter what.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it was just a lunch is what she told me, at like in like a hotel ballroom or something. I'll have to get confirmation from her on that.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is we need to like, all I know are the people in New York, New Jersey, you know, Connecticut.
Yeah, if we're not from any of those places and you want to talk about your Bat Mitzvah experience, please.
Yes, reach out
to us. Did you remember anything about your haftorah or anything about like the learning of it or the delivering it?
So I remember we had tapes. It was all recorded.
Oh my God, yes.
It was super retro. Actually funny because we bought a car from Alana a couple of years ago from New York when we were driving from New York to Atlanta to move here. And it's a Toyota Corolla from 2000, and all it has is a tape deck. It would have been perfect to listen to my haftorah portion on.
Oh.
So it was all on tape. I listened, I practiced. I was a nervous freaking wreck because I did not want to get up and sing in front of everyone. I don't remember what my portion was about. I remember doing do you remember what it was called? My mitzvah?
All right.
And like writing the essay that you have to give, you kind of have to like give a speech.
Yes, I do. As a person who thrives off of attention, I remember that part very well. Mine was about the like the fact that the Jewish calendar is lunar.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fairly certain it was about like something about the moon, which
that's cool.
It's cool, and we should give that to your mom for Mindy's mythological mirage.
Yeah.
But I just remember I dropped out of Hebrew school because my mom had given me a choice. Which, thank you, Mom. This podcast is sponsored by my mom. She was like, she was like, you can either go to Hebrew school or dance school, but you can't do both. And I was like, who in their fucking goddamn mind would choose Hebrew school at that point? You know, I was like, obviously I want to go to dance school. I'm going to be a ballerina. That didn't pan out, but still time. I mean, listen, I'm looking for a new job. So.
Yeah, ballerina.
So I had a tutor who actually lived in our apartment building that we grew up in. And I also had tapes, but I just basically memorized the like transliteration and gave the haftorah, gave the speech. And when I was giving the speech, and I'll never forget it, and I don't know if you can see it in the photos that I was sharing, but I was so splotchy. And I think it's so funny because I still have that reaction to this day when I'm about to do something that I'm a little nervous about. I get fully on dates, at work, if I would do like live interviews, like I get super splotchy when I have to like deliver public speaking, but I love doing it. So it's like a weird physical reaction that I get.
But you know, the one thing I didn't remember that our dear friend Rachel had brought up about Temple was the Aliyahs. I like that their name is called an Aliyah. I think it's so pretty. So
what are Aliyahs? Let's explain what Aliyahs are. A person who is called up to bless the Torah is said to have been granted an Aliyah. The word Aliyah is the same word that is used to describe a person who emigrates to Israel, making Aliyah. Generally, the word means to ascend. Emigrating to Israel and being called up to bless the Torah are similarly considered to be elevating acts or acts of ascension. Okay, so if you're a guest at a bat or bar mitzvah, you will have been informed in advance that you are to be honored with an aliyah. Very likely, you will have been asked to provide your Hebrew name, so the cantor can call you up. The cantor will chant a brief phrase in Hebrew, ending with the words Ya'amod, your Hebrew name, Harishon, the first, or whatever number aliyah you've been granted. There are generally 7 aliyot on Shabbat morning. So it's just.
It's like honoring somebody.
Yeah, it's honoring the Torah. It's blessing the Torah.
And it's having like somebody, usually it's family, come up to do this honor, which kind of reminds me of a wedding. Like you're just gonna have like a couple of people do a reading here, and then I got this for mine. It's like miniature Torah, and I kept it in my box because it's a collector's item.
It's a collector's item. I feel like it's like on par with like a TY Beanie Baby.
Yeah, I'm also kind of just scared. I've always been like very scared to open it.
Oh, you can't now.
Yeah. With genuine, it's kinds trees of life. So yeah, I guess I've been like kind of scared to open it, and I just left it. I don't know what to do with it. I don't know. I'm just scared. So it's in a box.
It's a keepsake. It's a keepsake. You can't ever open it.
I feel like blessed and like holy when it's around, but I just don't know.
I know. Just keep it like nearby.
Yeah, I do, and I keep it on my mantle and just sits there and stares at us, and we feel good about it. But
I probably had one at some point, but I don't remember.
I love when they would take the Torah out of the ark and they would like parade it around the like.
And you would like kiss it.
And everybody would kind of rush to the ends of the aisles to like get your kiss in. Get your kiss in. Like, don't miss that chance. Get your kiss in. Feel
like
blessed.
You only got one shot, one opportunity.
Got one shot. You don't want to.
Until the next weekend when you probably have another bat mitzvah.
Yeah. And the other thing, Jamie, that we didn't mention, which I just thought of, was how excited were you when you saw your name outside the temple that you were the bat mitzvah?
I didn't have that. This is like an experience that I didn't have because my temple portion was at a country club. I think my name was on like a little sign and I was like, yay. But I was robbed of that experience. And I know I just was talking about how great my mom is, but now I'm mad at her.
I mean,
I will say that I had a 10th birthday party at a movie theater and my name was on the marquee.
Mm-hmm.
And that shit was cool too. So
yeah.
That was my version of that.
On like Friday night, we had to do something at Shabbat too.
Yeah. I didn't, again, I like would go to them sometimes, but it was like, I didn't have to do any of that stuff, which was kind of sweet.
I think it was my first like, oh my God, this is real. This is really happening.
Yeah.
My name is outside.
They said your name before, like in the beginning of the service or something.
And how I did it without any Xanax, because I've done everything major in my life on Xanax. I will
or like without having a glass of wine first.
I just don't know.
Like I'm definitely like I'm officiating a wedding this summer and there's no chance I'm doing it without like a little something.
Oh my God. Yeah, you have to have a little something.
And I enjoy it. I enjoy it.
You're good at it. I'm like, yeah.
It really is like I didn't think about that until we started talking about the fact that the timing is just awful.
Just awful.
It just really is like any other time would be better. Because like younger would be better, older would be preferable. It's just what's the like let's put you in a dress and put you in front of a like live studio audience. So yeah, it's just an interesting time to have to go through all of those emotions.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of like I can go on for days about like all the feelings, why it's wrong, why it's right.
Yeah, totally.
What is your Hebrew name?
Shandel Bat Reuben.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, I
What's
love
your
that.
name?
Mine is Esther Varda.
Esther what?
Varda?
Varda with V?
Yeah.
That's pretty. I like Varda.
Yeah. I love Esther. So,
Yeah, it suits you.
Esther.
I feel like it's fitting for you.
Yeah, I really like it too. So, I mean, at first I was like, this is an old lady name.
Well, exactly. That's the thing about Bat Mitzvahs is that you don't appreciate anything about them until you're in
Until
your
later.
30s making a podcast about it.
And that's why I'm really excited for us and to explain to everybody and people who know this what the party was about because
Yeah.
that shit was off the hook.
That was off the hook.
I mean, I think what we'll find out in these episodes were bat mitzvahs, I don't know how they are now, and we'll figure that out, but they were like on the same level as like having a wedding.
And we went to one almost every weekend.
It's like basically a wedding on steroids because I think it's more fun than a wedding, honestly. Like,
Yeah. And less pressure too, because you're not the one getting the gift, and you don't have to go to a bachelorette party. There's no bachelorette parties for bat mitzvahs. There's no bat mitzvah showers.
That's what we should have for our yes.
Yeah, right.
I need a bachelorette for my bat mitzvah.
Yeah, I would have loved that.
Bachelorette.
A bachelorette.
A bachelor.
Bachelorette. Well, I feel like that covers what we wanted to cover for like the only thing that was important to me was having a party. I just wanted that party, and I would do whatever it took to get that party, including my haftorah.
And the party definitely weighed heavy because it was like the whole reason why I stuck it out.
Exactly.
For the party.
I think that was the beginning of my, I mean, it wasn't the beginning, obviously I was like this from birth, but the beginning of my like affection and like, what's the word I'm looking for? Interest in like attention. It's like, I'm a star. Yeah, this was pre-social media.
This was AOL dial-up days.
Exactly. Like, get on my buddy list, baby, because I am a star, and you're gonna want to see me shine.
I love that, and I just thought about. I keep seeing this like meme like on Instagram where it's just like someone saying like one day you signed off AIM or AOL for the last time. It's so sad because it was like the end. This was the epitome of the 2000 era.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, but it had a ripple effect definitely in social media now and everything.
Yeah, my AIM profile is my Instagram profile of today. My bio.
My Instagram handle Nikki for to be. Oh no. My Instagram is Nikki B. It was originally when I first got on Instagram, Nikki for to be, because, and I can't even believe I'm going to admit this, my AOL was Nikki for the guys, DAGUYZ at like 13.
You were a woman. You had kissed all those GUYZs on the bus.
I was in the chat room doing ASL.
Oh, please. That was my whole life. My screen name was My Name is Jay because I was a big Eminem fan and I liked his song My Name Is, but it was with a Z and not an S. And I would always get My Name Is with an S's J's mail, and he would get my mail.
My name is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, really?
Chicken. Yeah.
I love that.
That's a special tidbit, a special bonus fact about us.
I know. I'm a little bit embarrassed. People are going to hear this. I'm going to leave this part in where I admit to what my AOL name was.
Yeah, it's also it's so interesting because it's a huge part of that time period as well. Like
Yeah.
this is the height of AIM, the height of the dopamine hit of a chat pinging. It's like I associate that with my bat mitzvah era.
Yeah. And the other thing, oh God, this is like, I'm gonna get like heady, like deep.
Yeah,
You know, we all
into Cindy's mythical mirage.
we all watched the Britney Spears like Free Britney documentary, and this really, I don't know, for some reason I keep thinking about it because I think the way, like you talked about the body image, I think I talked about like I had boobs and I felt like oddly objectified. Like where like I was always, you know, we were always worried about things that I wore, you know.
Which is
So
crazy. You had to think about that even.
yeah, but and this was the time, and then you know, even my screen name, it plays into like, you know, it was just like a very like boys time or something.
Yeah.
Like you had your image was for the boys.
Right. External things instead of like
of being like,
why wasn't it Nikki Ford the me?
Yeah, Nikki Ford, that's what it would be now. Nikki Ford,
go fuck yourself.
That's what it is now. Nikki Ford the girls.
Yeah, Nikki Ford the girls. Well, mine probably still would be My Name Is Jay, if I'm being honest. I think I would have liked if I had it. If my mom said to me now, "Do you want to have bat mitzvah or go on a 2-week trip to Europe?"
Choice.
I would cook the bat mitzvah.
I might not support any money.
I would still pick the bat mitzvah.
$18. $18. Is that what it is?
This card. Let me open this card. Well, I love that. I love reminiscing with you and talking about our past.
Thank you. I love it.
It's so fun.
I love your winter wonderland.
I love your mom's theme of Broadway and her theme of mythical mirage.
We did do, and I'm sure you did too, we did Kids Night on Broadway all the time.
Oh, all the time.
All the time.
And my mom didn't let me go to Rent the first year that you guys all went to Rent.
What?
Yeah, I'll never forgive her for that. And there's a couple of things I won't forgive my mom for, apparently. I remember specifically, I think because for those listening who don't know us, like we grew up together in the same apartment building with a bunch of other kids around our same age, including your sister who's the same age as me. And I remember Liza was allowed to go, or, you know, Rent was one of the choices, which in hindsight also, like, maybe that shouldn't have been one of the choices. Like, not that it's so bad, but like, I don't know. I don't even remember how old we were, but my mom specifically was like, I don't want you to see Rent yet. And I was like, what? Now I'm thinking back. Like, you've deprived me of like.
Well, meantime, we were singing Rent every day at camp.
Exactly. I knew all the words already. So just like, but I did go on to see Rent like 40 times. So I think I got my fill.
You're good. You're good.
Good. And I sang Seasons of Love to audition to get into LaGuardia.
I did not go to LaGuardia for vocal, so.
But we both did go to LaGuardia.
We both did go to LaGuardia, so.
Bat Mitzvah is sponsored by LaGuardia High School.
We have a lot of sponsors.
Yeah, thank you so much to all of our sponsors for making this podcast.
Like roll the credits. We'll go to LaGuardia High School. Brussels, Marseilles. Carol Bass.
Yeah, Carol Bass and wine and booze and our dog and Brandon.
And
Calls with Nana.
And Nana.
And Martin Luther King Day.
Martin Luther King Day, Sam Feldman, Mindy Myers, Magical Mystery Mindy.
Oh my God, Mindy's Magical Mystery Tour. That's
it.
that's it. Well, mazel tov to us on our first
Mazel tov.
recording. Cheers.
Cheers.
L'chaim, I love you.
L'chaim.
Congratulations on becoming a Bat Mitzvah.
Oh, you as well.
Let's dance it out.